And this is Whispering Weavile reporting right on the heels of my last video. And this time I decided to tackle something a bit bigger. This one contains a lot less improv, a bit more scripted, so bear with me as I slowly improve on my technique. Now, what I'm doing here is much more of a theory-based thing than anything in particular. Like, my last one, I think I have solid, more logic behind it, but this one's just one of my theories. Now, the issue is, of course, SJWs, social justice warriors, or Tumblrites more in specific. You know what I'm talking about. The ones that constantly make stuff up about themselves, self-diagnosis. I'm actually a wolf in a man's body. I'm actually a man's body inside a woman, inside a turducken, inside a chocolate bar. And some people have theorized that these people, they make this stuff up out of selfishness, that in order to sort of take away from problems of reality, they sort of make it all about themselves. Oh, I don't want to listen about the real issues. It's all about me. It's all about me. I don't care about what's happening in Iran or Iraq. It's all about me. It's all about my problems, and that there's no bathrooms for the wolf-kin children inside a banana turducken. But I don't think that's exactly the case. I think it's actually interconnected. I actually think it's actually caused by people doing that way too much. Now, I think this actually comes around from a system. It starts off with guilt. A system that guilts children from a very young age and makes them feel guilty with a problem that they can't really solve in really any shape or form. And so, the guilt of white guilt, men privilege, all these sort of things that start off from a young age, from a curriculum that's designed to make you feel guilty. And don't tell me that it's not designed not to make you feel guilty, just make you more aware of these issues. Because the way it's structured, it's very targeting out, it's very specific. It's not as much talking about the issues, it's not these people face issues, it's you are the problem. I'm a bad person. It's not how can we help the black people, it's how I'm a problem and how I'm a white person and how privileged I am and how I should self-flagellate myself every goddamn minute. And so, how do these children grow up? How can they live with themselves, knowing that every stinking moment that they're a bad person because this is the way they are? This is how I am. I'm bad. I'm bad. I'm bad. I'm bad. Well, they create a coping mechanism. They have to create themselves a different personality. They have to distance themselves. Either say, "Oh, I'm not like them. I'm not like them at all. I'm just like you guys and that person's soul and that person's body or something or other." They have to self-diagnose and create fake problems for themselves because they know that people that also suffer from mental issues also are sort of underprivileged. And these people would Michael Jackson make themselves a body operation to be black if they could, because it's all messing them up from the inside the head. It's guilt. It's guilt. It's messing them up. And so once this starts, the guilt Olympics start. They have to top each other out. And when the stupid ravings that they do, like, even if they're logically presented reasons for what's going on, like, why isn't there a female assassin? Oh, it would cost way too much. Well, they can't take that for an answer because they need to do something, and they can't really address the big issues because the big issues are way too big. But in order to deal with that guilt in some way, they have to address it in such a way. Now, there is also a flip side to the guilt. There's also the outrage. You can also feel outrage to people just as much as you can feel guilt to them. Like the feminists, the ones I'm talking about, shut up, I'm in charge, everything's bad, everything's bad. Well, they're being fed outrage. They're being fed outrage. I once had a discussion with this girl about representation in movies, and it went very cyclical. I said, white males are ones primarily buying movies. Well, she said, it's an issue of you just should do it. And I pointed out, for example, that they don't really worry about representation in Bollywood, and you don't really see Jewish people lobbying for representation, that you must have more Jewish people in a movie or something, or more wheelchair-bound people. And she just couldn't really answer to that. Her head was stuck in a cyclical loop because she was not thinking, oh, I think there should be more representation. She was thinking, I'm outraged. I have been told that I have been wronged. I have been wronged, and now I need to take it out on others. That, grr, these suckers, they've been repressing me all along. And even if they logically haven't, even if there's like a logical explanation behind all of this, they can't handle it. Because, again, they've been told outrage. And outrage, unless you are actually sort of oppressed in some way, feels really great. It feels great to feel outraged at something. You can get angry and indignant, and you've got sort of this energy and passion behind you. And so on one side, we've got people that are reeling from guilt that don't think logically because they're just so guilted. And then on the other side, we have people that are outraged, that are attacking and being aggressive and angry, not because of really logical things, but because of what they've been told. They've been promised that they should be outraged at this, even if they logically shouldn't be. So this is the most speculative thing. What should be done about them? How to put a problem to this? My opinion, enough with the guilting. Don't do the guilting. Be very careful how you structure sort of explanational stories. Be very careful how you explain sort of racism and classism and how this all goes on, because the end result is people will madly rush to anything, to any sort of scam artist that's willing to scam them out. It creates sheeps and jackals. My idea is end with this guilting, end with this sort of shaming, or otherwise this will go on forever. Now, one may quickly point out that isn't that what the SJWs also demand sometimes when the coin flip lands the correct way? That they demand the end of all fat shaming or slut shaming or something like that. Well, again, we should stop treating everything with such a broad brush, and we should examine everything objectively for every case-by-case basis. For example, if one can point out that, hey, you might need to lose some weight because it's unhealthy for you because you're all going to die at a young age and you're going to regret it. Or, for example, that's a bad person because they cheated on a bunch of people and hurt a bunch of people in the process. That is different than generally painting up with a very broad brush a large group of people with a diverse set of opinions, simply because of their skin color, which is racist. So, this is my opinion, and I'm out.